Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing well and taking good care of yourselves. This is your instructor Ali Faruqi and you're watching Science with Ali. So in today's video we're going to be starting a brand new topic called rate of reaction, and this will be the only video of this topic because this topic is very small and it's not that difficult at all. So now what do you mean by rate of reaction? Rate of reaction is the speed with which the reactants get turned into the products. For example, if you were to use a toaster to toast your bread, what will be the reaction? The reaction would be heating the bread, right? So the time it takes for the toast to get heated is the rate of the reaction. Now, so there are a few concepts and two objectives that we need to cover in this topic, which is the collision theory and the factors affecting the rate of reaction, which include temperature, concentration, pressure, the need of a catalyst, and the surface area. So, before we understand those things all, we need to cover the theory behind the reaction known as the collision theory. Now, what is the collision theory? The collision theory says that in order for particles to react, they will have to collide with each other with sufficient energy called the activation energy. Activation energy is the minimum energy needed for particles to react successfully instead of bouncing apart. If the particles collide with less energy than the activation energy, nothing will happen. They will just bounce again, right? Now, if we were to think about an entire reaction which will involve a lot of particles, right, then the rate at any particular point is going to depend on two things. The most obvious is the amount of energy that these particles have, and the more energy they have, the more energy they can transfer during the collision, and so the more likely they are to surpass that minimum activation energy. Now, so the other important thing is the frequency of the collisions. Now, the collision theory states that the particles need to collide with each other in order to transfer their energy and enable the rate of reaction to get quicker or slower according to the conditions tested. Now, even though not all collisions are successful because the particles involved don't always reach the activation energy, the more often they collide, the more successful collisions they'll be overall. Now, whenever you think about how these four factors, the temperature, concentration, pressure, and I think surface area affect the rate of reaction, you always want to think in terms of how they affect the amount of energy that the particles have and the frequency of the collisions. The amount of energy that they have and the frequency of the collisions, these are the two main things that I need to focus on, because every answer that comes regarding paper 2, every question that comes in paper 2 regarding rate of reaction is mainly focusing on these two things. So let's start with temperature. Now, if we were to make a reaction vessel and if I were to put a little heat on top of it, right? If I were to, let's say, put a fire on top of it. Now, this is the fire, right? So the particles inside are present. I have not started the fire yet, okay? I have not yet started the fire yet. Now, the particles are just moving around in the reaction vessel, going about their business. The rate of reaction right now is very slow because I have not ignited the fire. The temperature is lower right now. So if I increase the temperature, sorry, what will happen is that the particles will gain more energy, which means that they move faster, and because they're moving faster, they will collide more frequently with the neighboring particles. Now, they also collide with more energy each time, so they are more likely to exceed the activation energy. So, overall, there will be a higher rate of successful collision, and that is a higher rate of reaction. Clear? Now, if I were to lower the temperature in this case, what will happen is that the particles will get again slower, the kinetic energy will be slower, and they will collide less frequently and less energy will be transferred. Hence, there will be a slower rate of reaction, not a higher one. If we have a smaller flame. Now, okay, so time for concentration. Now, concentration refers to how many particles there are per unit volume. Now, concentration generally refers to solutions and pressure refers to gases. So, concentration and pressure are basically, you can say, considered as a single factor. Now, I will get onto pressure later in this video. So, if you don't get it right now, it's completely okay. You just need to focus on concentration. You just need to associate concentration with solutions and you need to associate pressure with gases. Okay. Now, if we were to take another reaction vessel, a big one this time, and if we attach a piston on top of them, right? If we attach a piston on top, okay. So this is our piston, right? So if I were to increase the pressure, what will happen? I will have to grab hold of this piston and I will press it down, right? So when I press this down, the particles present inside this reaction vessel had this entire space to roam around when the piston was up here, right? Now when I move this piston down, the particles are now more cramped together, right? So this increased the concentration as well, and I also increased the pressure simultaneously and indirectly as well. So when I increase the pressure, the concentration already increases, and when the pressure is increased, the particles are more closer together, and this will increase in a higher rate of reaction, of higher frequency of collision, and more energy will be transferred, and thence a higher rate of reaction will be achieved. Higher rate of reaction will be achieved, right? Okay, now moving on to a surface area. For example, if we wanted to react 3 grams of magnesium with an acid, let me just draw the equation. Magnesium plus HCl will give me magnesium chloride and H2 gas. Now, if we wanted to react magnesium with an acid, 3 grams of magnesium with an acid, we could use a solid block of magnesium, small chunks of magnesium, or powder. Now, as all of these have the same mass and volume, the powdered form would have the highest surface area to volume ratio, and so would have a much higher area over which collisions with the other reactants, in this case the acid, could take place. This meaning that the frequency of the equations would be higher, leading to a higher rate of reaction. I think I'm pretty clear. This is the easiest in my opinion. Surface area is the easiest. This is a statement that you all can copy in your exam as well, because this is the marking scheme refers to these keywords, right? This basically comes for around 1 to 2 marks. So if you use these exact wordings, you can get all those marks. Now moving on to the last factor which we have, which is catalyst. Now what is a catalyst? Catalysts are substances that speed up a reaction without being used up, providing an alternative pathway, and they lower the activation energy as well, right? Now I think we covered activation energy above, right? So we don't include them in the reaction equation as they are not reactants or products. To understand how they work, now what a catalyst does is lower this activation energy by providing an alternative pathway, and this means that there will be a higher proportion of successful collisions. Now the word catalyst is actually a very broad term, and a whole range of different substances can act as catalysts in different situations. Now one of the most common sources of catalysts though are the transition metals like cobalt and nickel. These two catalysts are the most common. So if you study biology, catalysts are known as enzymes in biology. Now the last thing that is left is pressure, right? So pressure is very similar to surface area. So more pressure will result in higher rate of reaction as particles will be much closer together, resulting in a higher frequency of successful collisions and a higher rate of reaction, because there are the particles are much closer to each other because of the more pressure, as I demonstrated above with the help of the piston and the reaction vessel. I think it's pretty clear that the reaction will be higher, the rate of reaction will be higher, and will result in, I think it's pretty clear that the rate of reaction will be higher as the particles are much closer to each other. So this wraps up our rate of reaction. As always, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section down below. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next class.